Brian Christopher, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. Great to see you again.
Yes, very nice to see you again. Now, for you, you are the person with the number one slots watching channel in the US. And for those people who aren't familiar with you, can you explain what you do and how you got started in this a little bit?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I just go to different casinos around the country, and I upload a new video or go live every single day playing slot machines. Started about 5.5 years ago, and I haven't stopped since. I just kind of fell into it. I put some videos up for fun. They took off, and I rolled with it.
Now, we first met you at the Global Gaming Expo in Las Vegas, which is the biggest trade show for everything gambling in the world. And you were just starting your channel then, I think, right? And that was probably right around 5.5 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 5 years ago, I guess it would have been. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you interviewed Steve, and this was before I was even in the channel at all, about how slot machines work. So how did you build your channel from just then starting to the mammoth that it is now?
I just kept to it. I just kept wanting to better myself, learning from everything I did, going to G2E, taking conferences, reading books, figuring out what works for YouTube and listening to my audience for what works for them as well. Staying consistent is also a really big key to what we do.
Now, I remember when you first started, and I watched your channel, a lot of times you would have these group polls where you would go to a casino and you'd have a whole bunch of people and you'd pool your money together and then you'd have this bankroll and you play. Can you explain how that worked and are you still doing it?
Yeah, we're still doing it. So basically, I hold an event. Usually, it's around 25 people per group slot pool, and each person will either put in 200, 500, or 1,000, depending on which group pool it is. We all put in the same amount of money, myself included. It all goes into one slot machine. We all take turns at the spins, and at the very end, whatever's left, we split equally, whether it's a win or a lose. I've also started doing a few mega group polls as well, which could involve over 100 people all on one slot machine as well, which is pretty fun.
Well, it sounds like it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so now you just said sometimes you live stream, sometimes you put up recorded videos. Are you specializing in more one? Like what does your channel consist of now? It's mostly just plays, whether they be pre-recorded or live streams, right?
So right now I go live every Wednesday and Thursday, and then the other 5 days of the week, upload a video.
Okay. Now, here's a simple question for you, because there have been a lot of slot channels. You weren't the first one, but you've been the most successful at it. But now, what do you think is the reason for the popularity? Why do people enjoy watching the people play slot machines? Are they living vicariously through you, or what is it?
A lot of it is that. A lot of it is just hanging out with Brian, and I'm very personable. I talk a lot. I talk a lot about myself and about my life, and for me it's the experience. It's like, we're going to throw $1,000 at a game, or 5,000 or 10,000, and it's the journey you go on. It's the ups and the downs. It's not knowing what's going to come next. The top channels on YouTube are gamers, people who play video games. To me, that's boring as heck. I would never watch someone else play a video game, but billions do, and that's the same idea with slot machines. I never thought anyone would ever watch that either, but then I got sucked into watching it too, and it's really exciting.
I guess really, if you think about it, at the end of the day, it's just like watching professional sports. Oh, a lot of people say, oh, I'd never watch somebody play video games. I just want to play video games myself. And then they go and watch football every Sunday,
Yeah, exactly the same thing. Just go play it yourself if you want it.
All right. Now, Brian, you're really, when it comes down to it, you're one of the only people in the world who can truly consider themselves a professional slot player, because you make a living playing slot machines. But I think when most people would think of a professional slot player, they would think of just someone who goes in and knows the secret to winning every jackpot all the time and can just make money winning on the machines. But that's not really how you do it. I assume you make most of your money through your branding and through advertising and all the stuff like that on YouTube. So I have to ask, at the end of the day, do you actually make money playing the slots or no?
No, and I wouldn't actually call myself a professional slot player either. I don't think there really is such a thing. when you're playing something that takes zero skill whatsoever,
Mhm.
there's no such thing as being a professional unless you want to call yourself a professional loser at it. Because everybody loses on slot machines, you know, and unless you play only once a year and you get lucky that one day, or unless you hit that, you know, $1 million prize on a game or something. But yeah, I lose my butt playing slot machines, but I make money back on the back end.
All right, now you had done that initial video with us, well, with me at G2E, and then I think it was about a year and a half or 2 years later, we went and saw you in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan, and you and I played video poker because Matt and I love video poker, and actually we started doing some videos on video poker that we're releasing, and so it was sort of a teaching lesson for you with video poker. I think we did okay. I forget it so long ago, but do you ever play any more video poker, or you're just pretty much sticking to slot machines?
I play a lot of video poker, but I play it off camera mostly because I am known as Brian Christopher Slots. I try to stick to just slots. What I found that some of my viewers find exciting is when I play 100 hand poker, because there's a lot of action on the board, a lot of opportunities to hit something somewhere. And so generally, if you'll see me play poker, like online or video poker, it's a very short clip of, hey guys, I'm playing video poker. I'm one off for a royal. Let's see if we get it. And then you press the button, and that's it. Like, it's a very quick thing. I've only had one royal so far. But so that one definitely made it into a video. But yeah, I mainly stick to slots, even though I love video poker and other games.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I was
good.
actually just in Vegas a few weeks ago, and I shot a video of us playing on that same machine from the Cosmopolitan, the 100 play. So
Yeah.
now, you put out a lot of content. I mean, one video a day is crazy, and I'm sure that there's a lot more work that goes into it than most people think, and probably a lot more work that goes into it than even Steve and I think. And we have our own YouTube channel. So, can you explain, like, what does an average day look like for you when you are going to a casino and filming? I'm sure it's probably not all fun and games. There's probably a lot of work involved. Could you just like give us a quick rundown of that so that people understand how hard it is to do what you do?
Yeah, I mean, majority of my time is actually not in a casino. It's outside of the casino, working in my office, which is where I am right now in Palm Springs. So when I am at the casino, I'll show up around 9 a.m. and I will film straight through until about 4 in the afternoon. I'll take a lunch break, and then I'll go live at 5 o'clock right after that. So oftentimes I'll do a second live stream after that for our fan club, and then back the next day. So I usually do that 2 days in a row, solid filming, which would give me about a week's worth of videos during those 2 days. The other days I'm stuck in my office working hard. Today I've had 3 conference calls starting at 8:30 this morning. I did a presentation actually for a casino this morning that invited me out to do an online conference with them. Always talking with new casino partners, or I'm off to Oklahoma tomorrow for a full week of events. So, you know, we're checking back in with them and arranging our schedule. I also have a staff of 7 now that work for me. And so, you know, always reviewing with them what's coming up next, who's working on what. We have social media people who help us with that. We have an online store that employs 2 people as well to, you know, create the merchandise, because we make our own shirts in-house and mail out everything ourselves. So it's a lot of moving pieces. And, you know, we're working on contracts that are for next year right now, because we are fully booked for 2021. Trying to figure out our schedule for next year to make sure that we can get to the most casinos as possible.
All right, yeah. See, so a lot of people see how much fun you have on camera, and while it is a fun job, it is still a job. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is how much work goes into this behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's usually a seven day a week gig. I was here on Sunday for about 8 hours working as well. You don't stop, and oftentimes I'll leave the office at 10 o'clock at night. You know, everything's got to get done. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
Now, one more question while we're on the subject of this is, how have your filming days changed from when you just were starting out to now?
When I first started out, and actually literally up until a few weeks ago, really, a lot of what I did, I would just show up at the casino with no clear plan necessarily. I would just go and I just play game after game after game after game after game. And then I'd get home or back to the office. I'd have 200 games filmed. They're all about 3 to 5 minutes each. And then I'll group them into videos, and then I'll edit them together and put that out as a video. So it's a whole like mix of different games, different wins and losses all put together. What I'm doing now is making it a little more exciting, but also more realistic. So now I'll play one game, maybe 2 games, or maybe 3 even, but they're shot from beginning to end in order. So I'll start with $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, and I'll have a goal in mind. So we can't get off this machine until we hit that bonus, or we can't leave this machine until we hit a jackpot. I just did that recently with $100 a spin. I threw in $3,000. I'm like, we have to get a jackpot. It's only $1,200. We can do this. Didn't hit it. So I had to throw in another 3,000. We can do it, guys. Here we go. Didn't hit it. You know what I mean? Like, It's more exciting. It's more realistic. So you're going to see a lot more losses maybe on my channel, but a lot more wins that are bigger and exciting as well.
Yeah, I know. I've seen people comment on your videos, or even they'll mention you in our comment section and say, "Oh yeah, he only shows his wins." Or we had somebody. What did they say? They said that anytime you go into a casino and play a slot machine, the casino's changing the paybacks on the slot machines so that you win more money, and so it looks better for the casinos.
Yeah, everyone thinks there's a magical switch somewhere. I try and educate my audience about the realities of that, and it's not how it actually is. But what I was never just showing wins. I always would show a mix of wins and losses within one video. But I mean, if I just uploaded 3 games where I just lose my butt in all 3 games, it's not as exciting to watch. And my thumbnail has nothing to go off of. So I'd always try and include like one big win or one big bonus in each video. But now I'm relying more on the subject matter to carry the video. So like I said, we have to achieve something in the video, and that's what the video's around.
All right, and then I have one more question before it goes back to Steve. I was on your social media last night before I went to bed, and I saw you were just playing Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White. How did you manage that one? Because that's pretty cool.
It's all about building relationships, and so I built a great relationship with IGT. And they were celebrating their 25th year this year of having slot machines with Wheel of Fortune. And so I've been promoting for them. And because of that relationship, Sony actually reached out to us with the actual Wheel of Fortune and wanted to do some co-branded merchandise with us. Then at G2E, Vanna White was coming. They asked me if I would be a part of that experience. And so obviously I said yes. And then I was able to meet with her, shoot a little video with her, and get some great photos like you saw.
All right, now I got a question, because you do so much gambling. Like you say, you're posting every day. Overall, through the years, you've been, was it 5 years we said now you're doing this? What is the best win you've ever had?
I was actually was it 2 weeks ago? I was doing a live stream, and it was actually to announce the new changes to my channel, because I was restructuring how I'm doing my videos. And so we were celebrating in Vegas, and I was actually in the Brian Christopher Slots area over at Plaza. Obviously they flipped the switch for me, because I hit a bonus, and in that bonus I had an $8,000 line hit and a $12,000 line hit at the same time.
Wow.
So $20,000 hit during that. So it was just over $20,000 jackpot on that one.
How much were you betting to spin?
That one was $50. That was a big
Oh,
bet.
that's not, wow, that was really good. But now on the flip side, what has been your worst day?
I don't really know. I mean,
probably something he doesn't like to think about.
Yeah, no, well, it's so funny how it is, because a couple of days ago, I was, I guess it was last week, I was filming. I was down about $9,000 for the day. And then I went over to another machine and I ended up winning 14,000 on that machine, right? So you're going to have huge ups and huge downs. So I don't really know what my biggest loss in a day is. It's probably around 15,000. It's not a normal day though, but that's probably my biggest one, I would say.
I know my worst day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was, without getting into the specifics of it, but I was doing a play. It was an advantage play. But even though you have an advantage in the long run, you can have a bad day. I lost $4,800, so that one's stuck in my brain. So that one I'll always know.
Oh, I believe it.
Best day was a $2 Royal Flush, $8,000. So that's my part of it. But Matt, you had another question.
Well, now that we're on the subject of wins and losses, I have to ask about the Twitch streamers that are playing the online slots, which I think they've sort of evolved from you. And I thought it was pretty cool. Steve and I thought it was pretty cool when we first started watching. And then, like, the more we've been watching, it seems that I'm not sure that that's really their wins and losses, because there's one guy I was watching the other day. They'll bet like $3,000 or $4,000 a spin. And I was watching the other day, and this guy just was advertising, he had the biggest hit ever. He won $8.5 million in a bonus round. And I mean, you would never be able to cash that out on an internet casino. You'd put a casino out of business with that. So, like, I mean, we've sort of gone over this, but I want to just like reemphasize that this is actually, you are actually winning and losing this money. Right? Like, there's not, like we said, there's no casino hitting a switch to make sure you're hitting these jackpots. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people assume because a casino is sponsoring a video that they're handing me cash to go gamble with, or they're letting me win, and that's just not the case. That would also be illegal. So 100% of my games that I play is with my own money, whether I'm playing online slots or not. I use my own credit card for the online slots, and I use my own cash for in casino. What you're referring to on Twitch and that, it sounds like cryptocurrency, and they have their own world. A lot of them are asking to work with me, and I'm just skeptical to even touch them because it's not, there's no laws around that, and it's pretty sketchy. And I'm pretty sure that Twitch has put a kibosh on that now as well. I don't think they're allowed to still do those, but yeah, I read articles about people they're doing tens of thousands of spin, winning millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, and then they're able to keep that money because the crypto costs them nothing to give to them to play with, and it's a little misleading for me, and that's the reason why I would never do that for my channel. I'm very open and honest, and also promote responsible gambling. So when I'm doing big bets, I like last night I was doing an online slot thing where I did up to I think 100 a spin. And I was telling my audience, you guys can just do 20 cents a spin. You can do anything, whatever's comfortable with you, but still treat it like a real casino. Like, you're going to win and you're going to lose, and you're going to lose more than you win.
Okay, well, I guess I just got one last question for you here. So as you were talking previously about the different income streams you have and different things like the merchandise and the slot pulls and things like that. So now, what do you see as the future for your channel? Do you think you're going to go in any kind of different direction, or you see something opening in the future for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's always evolving. I never thought I'd play online slots, but now I'm doing that as well. And now we're looking to move our videos into other platforms, like being on TV and on apps and other websites, so we can reach an even larger audience. The sky's the limit. I mean, we could easily turn this into a TV show if we wanted to, or a reality show or something like that. It's hard to say where it's going to go. I never would have guessed 1 year ago I'd be where I'm doing what I'm doing right now. So I'm kind of open and just open to whatever changes may come.
All right, and then one final question for you, Brian. If people want to learn more about you, where can they do that?
Wrong one. There it is. bcslots.com. That's my website, where people can find out about our events that we're going to, or just look up, Brian Christopher, either on YouTube or Facebook. We're all over social media everywhere.
All right, Brian Christopher from bcslots.com. Thanks very much for spending time with us, and it's great to see you again.
Thank you. So great to see you as well.
Okay, take care.